So this is my TED Talk for my Genius Hour project that I did on yoga, and this is my yoga story. A few years ago, I really just wanted to be a person that does yoga, and that seemed like such an impossibility because I was so focused on what I thought that looked like. I would watch videos on YouTube or see people on Instagram doing yoga and doing these impossible looking poses of twisting and bending and balancing in ways that I never thought that I would ever be able to do. And just that alone seemed so overwhelming to try and reach that point that I didn't even see a point in even trying to start doing yoga. A few years later, in early 2018, my life kind of took a drastic turn, and I had a few friends mention to me how much yoga had really helped them through some difficult times. And so I decided that I would give it a try, and I started going to some classes with them. And at this point, I wasn't focused on achieving any surmountable physical goal. I was just going to try and feel better. So as I started going to classes, I was more focused on gaining the benefits of just being physically active and meditating instead of trying to bend myself into these pretzel-like poses. After a few months of practicing, I noticed that my flexibility was improving and my strength was increasing. And as the instructors were moving through their flows and starting to show the different variations of the poses, I was able to start to push myself into the next level of difficulty. And I was getting more successful each time I tried. I started to understand why it's called a yoga practice. Eventually, I started to become a little bit more interested in the background of yoga, and I started to look into it and educate myself on what are called the 8 limbs of yoga. So there's different layers, and the asanas or poses are really just the first limb. I also learned how that yoga means union, which is the aligning of body, mind, and breath or spirit. And I became more and more connected to myself, to my body, to my mind, and to my soul. And yoga was no longer a workout or a class that I was going to. It started to become a lifestyle. This project helped me reconnect to that girl a number of years ago that just wanted to be a person that does yoga. I was in the middle of a class, probably halfway through this 6-week project, and I realized, oh my gosh, I'm a person who does yoga. And it's really funny how hard that realization hit me and how much it shocked me, because it didn't happen overnight. And it took me a couple of years of doing yoga to even realize that I have become something that I always wanted to be. And it started with one class, and then another class. And this practice that integrated itself into my whole life in so many different ways and so many different areas. And I realized that it never ends. I will always be practicing. I'll always be improving. I will always have goals that I can make and reach for and strive for. And life is also really like that. And even though this 6-week project is over and I have managed to make incredible improvements, measurable improvements, because I actually took the time to document and measure and time them and work towards something specific, I have so much more that I can build towards, even on what I've already accomplished through this project. And I hope I never stop trying to improve and I never stop trying to grow. I also hope that something that I've said here today has sparked in you the possibility to become something that you've always wanted to be. And all you have to do is take the first step towards it. Thank you so much. Namaste.